Police from Salt Lake City, Utah have finally released video of an incident that happened back in October of 2014 where a woman was being arrested in front of her 9-year-old daughter while she was in her underwear. Now, we're going to show you the video in just a second, but to give you some context, this all occurred after her older daughter, who does not live with her, got a call from a neighbor indicating that there was some yelling coming from her mother's home. According to Jasmine Anderson, the woman's older daughter, I received a phone call from the neighbor at my mother's the night this happened that my mom had been drinking and could be heard yelling on the phone from their apartment. I called 911 because I didn't live near her at the time and was worried about my younger sister. Okay, so at this point, Jasmine Anderson drives over to make sure that her mom is okay, but she lives across town. And she was shocked to find that she made it to her mother's home before the authorities did, okay? So the video that we're about to show you, again, is from October 2014. Salt Lake City police did not want to release this video, but they finally were forced to. I want you to take a look, and we'll discuss some more details.
It's all right, Gabby.
No,
it's okay, Gabby.
They're not taking me. Nadia's coming. I'm just going to sit in the car.
Why am I under arrest?
Well, remember the warning I gave you? That if you came out and harassed them...
Please, can I put some clothes
Can I put this on here?
Huh?
Are my kids coming to get Gabby?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm under arrest?
Yep, you're under arrest.
Okay.
She's going to jail?
Yes, she is.
Yeah. It's okay. The Norwegian consulate is watching us.
Can I go tell Sean?
Yep.
No, stay right here,
I'm
Gabby.
going to go tell Sean.
Sean knows. Let's have you, let's see. Come over, grab your stuff. Gab, we're going to sit in my car. Okay? Just gather your stuff.
Oh my God!
Gabby. You little bitch. Fucking spit on me, you cunt. Fucking pisses me off, little bitch.
So according to the woman's daughter, she never faced any charges. She was later released. Authorities arrested her originally for public intoxication, even though they arrested her in her home. And remember, they arrived a long time after a call was made to authorities, right? So the police did not show up until hours later when my mom had calmed down and was asleep with my little sister in the house. Now, as a result of what happened in that video, her daughter also alleges my mother had her nose broken and several lumps on the back of her head from the officer hitting her repeatedly.
Okay, so it's getting crazy in this country where you're afraid to call 911 because you're more afraid of the cops than you are of what's happening. That's the original danger. So in this case, let's review the things that went wrong. Look, they called you for help. So make sure my little sister's okay. You get there, everybody's sleeping, things calm down. Good, mission accomplished. Like there's no need to start more trouble. But you can see from that guy's attitude later in the video, he didn't mind trouble, right? He seemed a little vindictive to say the least, right? And there's just, leave it alone, leave it alone. Okay, now problem number 2 is don't spit on the cop. Like, don't spit on anybody. Spitting on people is disgusting, it's wrong. She shouldn't have done that, and I can understand why anybody be mad.
Yeah. By the way, we have no evidence that she.
We don't even know that she did that.
Okay.
But let's take him at his word that that's why it went in this direction. Okay. Number 3, we pay you to be a peace officer. We pay you to be calm and under control. So a normal person, if a guy spit on me, I might have a reaction, right? I get it. Somebody spits on you, you're going to have a reaction. Very normal, right? But you're not a police officer, and that other person isn't handcuffed, and it isn't a woman that can't defend herself because she's handcuffed, and you have a gun, and you have a baton, and you have a taser, and you have all the power in the world, and then you come and you slam her down. No, I know it sucks to be spit on. And by the way, later they put a spit bag over her head. Now, if somebody does that and you want to put a spit bag over their head and that's your normal MO, okay, I hit it. I hear you. You shouldn't have spit on the cop. But you don't get to do that. That's an unbelievable assault, totally unnecessary. You escalate.
Yeah, she's handcuffed. She's handcuffed. You watch that video, she's complying with them. Why am I arrested? Explain it to me. And by the way, why is it so difficult for cops to just give an explanation for why someone's getting stopped, why someone's getting arrested? Just share that information with the person once they ask. I think people should know and have the right to know why this is happening to them, right? And also, she's complying. Then they handcuff her, right? Seems to be no problem. And all of a sudden, this big tough guy thinks that she's so much of a threat that he has to assault her like that and then call her a cunt and a fucking bitch.
Yeah, no, that guy's got issues. Anybody who watches that video and is objective about it understands he's got issues. Later in the video, she says, please don't, I can't breathe. And he says, shut your hole.
Yeah, you know, he's definitely the type of person who would de-escalate a situation, right? By the way, if you don't believe anything that we have to say or our analysis on this situation, let me give you the analysis from an actual person from the police department. This is from Salt Lake Police Chief Mike Brown, said it is concerning and not what we expect from police officers.
Yeah, and by the way, we are always having these conversations with people in authority as if we don't have eyes.
Right.
And we can't see. Right? So you couldn't see the spit. I'm actually giving him the benefit of the doubt on the spit. But I saw what you did to her, and I saw that she was handcuffed. We've got eyes. In the old days, there's no cameras anywhere. So the cops just come out and go, oh, yeah, they all had it coming. And everybody bows their head and goes, of course, the cops are angels, and they're wonderful. And they're always right, and whoever they're arresting is always wrong. Right? That was the old days. Then everybody believed that fiction. And people still in America are like, oh, yeah, cops always right. You should always assume the cop is right. No, I shouldn't. Okay? I don't have to assume that at all. And now I can see it with my own eyes. There's video of it. I don't have to fucking assume a thing. I just saw it.
No, it's beyond scary at this point, right? Where anything that might offend them even a little bit for some reason justifies force. And not only does it justify force among those who work in, various police departments throughout the country, Americans are justifying that force, which is fucking amazing to me, okay? So you think it's totally fine to handcuff someone and then assault them while they're handcuffed and they can't defend themselves. The Falcon Heights video, I literally could not sleep last night because I watched it before I went to bed, which was a huge mistake. I cannot get over the fact that that woman had to experience her loved one getting gunned down like that. And she remained as calm as she could possibly remain. Why? Because she's worried that she's going to get shot if she makes any sudden movements, if she does anything to offend the cops. They ask her to get out of the car with their guns drawn as if she's some sort of criminal. Where's the probable cause there? Did she have a weapon? I mean, that's the country we're living in now. And you guys think, not you guys, I don't mean to make a generalization, but those defending the cops who are obviously guilty of police brutality think that they're not going to be victims of this. Oh, it's them, not me. Wait until it happens to you. Because if you give them this type of unmitigated power, everyone can be impacted by it.
Well, Anna, there is one time that right-wingers did attack the cops and say they were in the wrong. When right-wing militiamen, like the guys at the Bundy Ranch and then later in Oregon, pointed assault weapons at cops' heads. And that's when the cops were actually in danger. And those guys said, we're going to kill you, cops. If you come into this land, whether it was the ranch or later in Oregon, and a federal government property that they had seized, they said, we will kill you if you come here. And they pointed the weapons at their heads. That was the one time right-wingers said, oh, the goddamn cops.
It's amazing.
The one time that the cops were actually in most danger is the one time they're like, you see it, they're abusing their authority. Of course, white right-wingers have a right to point guns at your head and get away with it. But everybody else should be mowed down or slammed to the ground, whether they're defenseless or not. And look, the last thing is, I'm so tired of the media being complicit in all this. What do they tell you? Do they say it's an outrage? Do they say you should protest? No, we're neutral. But in their neutrality, whatever the cops say, they always report dutifully as if it's the truth. They don't question it, they just report it. Yeah. Well, the authorities have said this. Even in the face of evidence, video evidence otherwise, they will say, what? The cops have reported this. And remember, their criminal history Look, somebody had complained about her before in this case.
Right.
And the guy who got shot down in Minnesota, he did have a busted taillight. And and Trayvon Martin had once gotten detention. And so the cops say, we can see now, media. We already know that you're in bed with everyone who's in power. And now you're just proving what a lie you've been saying all this time, and you're still lying about it. It's maddening.